Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to anybody and everyone across and around the world who are joining us today. Thank you so much. You have just landed on what we call our Patching Podcast Fabulous Friday. Today, someone invited you here. They really love you and they really want to help you with your health and so that you can be introduced to this wonderful health technology. Really simple, it's non-invasive. We're really going to help your body actually heal itself. So we do have two wonderful testimonies we want to share with you today, but I would first love to introduce myself. My name is Wendy Morgan. I've been with the company and using the patches for about 2.5 years. And my lovely co-host is April Vaughn. April, want to say something and tell them about yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you, Wendy. My name is April Vaughn, and I have been using the patches. May will be 2 years. I think I'm about 20 months right now. And the patches have completely and totally changed my life and restored my health from struggling many years with what I was diagnosed with: lupus, Lyme disease, and rheumatoid arthritis. So I feel like a brand new woman. I'm so excited to share these with everyone, and just wow. And today I can't wait also to share these two wonderful ladies that have amazing testimonials to share with us on what's happened with them using their journey and using the patches as well.
Yeah, it's going to be great. But before we go, we do have to go ahead and say a few things to give you some background information. You know, this is today you'll be listening to individuals who have experienced results in activating their own stem cells and supporting their own cells to function better with this patented technology from LifeWave. I would like to remind you that all information shared here is for educational purposes only. It does not substitute for professional medical advice. All LifeWave products are not intended to cure, treat, diagnose, prevent, or prevent any type of disease. And even though we have many medical professionals and doctors that are on our team, we recommend that if you are pregnant, nursing, or on certain medication, that you have any particular medical conditions, please consult your physician first. So now that that is out of the way, I'm going to ship it back to April, and she's going to introduce our wonderful two ladies. April.
Thank you, Wendy. So our first guest that we have on today is Mary Lopez. I had the honor of meeting her recently when we were in Houston. Marcy and Peter and I and lots of others. We had a training there, and Mary Lopez, I got to meet her and share her wonderful story of what's going on with her body since she started using the patches. Mary, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hey, Mary.
Hi.
You know, hey there. If you would just share with everyone, you know, how you felt before the patches, what happened when you started using them, and your journey throughout these past few months, we would just love to hear your wonderful story.
Okay. Well, I was having quite a bit of pain in my knees, and have in my history osteoarthritis, and so I was having a lot of pain in my knees. I went and got MRIs, and MRIs indicated that I was going to need a knee replacement surgery, and but I didn't really want to go through surgery, so I went to a chiropractor. And a chiropractor at that time was able to give stem cell injections. So they gave me the estimate and everything. And it's, of course, not covered by insurance because, you know, the insurance doesn't cover it. So the cost was unaffordable. And I really couldn't do the stem cell injections. So I figured I would have to wait until I could go ahead and got ready to do surgery. Got to the point I couldn't stand it. I did take 2 Tylenol, 650 milligrams a day, you know, 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening. But even with that, I still had difficulty getting up and down. Sleeping at night was hard because, you know, your knees, you know, you bend your knees a lot when you're sleeping on your side or something. And it would just get excruciating, you know, in the middle of the night. And so it would wake me up a lot of times. But I had a friend, Roger Lux, who called me one day. I had called to wish him a happy birthday, and he called me back. And then when he did, he started talking to me about these patches and how they work with light, the light of your body. And actually, I was very skeptical I thought it sounded like hocus pocus, but I trust Roger. And so I said, well, yes, I'll try it. If you want to send me some, I'll try it. So he did send me some, and I didn't try it right away. I didn't like jump on it. I waited till one day I woke up and both knees were just hurting so bad in the morning. I just said, okay, I'm just going to give this a try and see what happens. And when I did, I hadn't done any research at this point. When I put that patch on the back of my neck, the X39, within less than 5 minutes, my pain disappeared completely.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, what is this stuff? And then I began to do the research and look into it to see exactly what it was supposed to do and listen to more testimonies and things like that. And still, even then, I still thought, well, maybe the pain will come back. I'm going to go ahead and wait a little while. I waited a month before I even jumped in and got involved. But it didn't come back. My pain didn't come back. And matter of fact, within 3 weeks of me wearing the patch, one of the issues that I had been trying to solve in my health history was dry skin. I have fair skin, so I have excessively dry skin. And my legs were so dry, they were almost like alligator skin. If you Google alligator skin, you'll see what my legs look like, especially in the calves. And so I had wanted something to fix that. I'd taken lots of supplements and I had taken lots of creams, but all that was, the supplements did nothing. And the creams, they did something for the day, and the next day you needed to do it again. So that wasn't a solution. So after 3 weeks of being on the X39 patch, that completely went away. My skin was smooth. My skin was not dry anymore. My skin was soft. My husband was saying, your skin is like velvet, it's so soft. And then I'm 71 years old, 71 years young, as they say these days. And your skin gets very thin as you get older. I'm sure many of you know that. And when you scratch, you get one of those red, like blood blister type things on your skin. And I would get those frequently because, again, fair skin, thin skin, but that also went away. My skin got strong and soft and supple, and I don't have that kind of skin anymore. And so I was really impressed. I've been using it now since August of 2022, so about 6 months. I'm looking forward to seeing what else it's going to do. I sleep better. I was on Somanex for, I don't know, more than 20 years, 30 years or so. And the doctors wanted me to get off of Somanex, but I said it's better than the alternative, which they wanted to give you antidepressants to help you sleep. And I didn't want to take antidepressants. So I said over the counter is better for me. And it was working. But I did want to get off of it because I'd heard some negative effects. And after using X39 and Silent Night also, I've been, I sleep better now. I go to bed at a more reasonable hour. It like changed my circadian rhythm so that now I actually get sleepy earlier if I don't drink a lot of caffeine during the day, which I try not to do. I drink caffeine free most everything. And so it changed that, and it was amazing. I'm very excited about what it's doing. And I can't wait to my annual checkups from the cardiologist and my regular doctor to find out what else it has done and how much I have reversed my aging.
Wow, that is Mary, thank you for sharing. That's absolutely amazing. I mean, you're avoiding now to have knee replacement surgery, sleeping better, all prescription drugs. Your husband has his wife back again. You're just and you said too that people say they've ran into you since you've been using the patch, and they just say you're glowing.
They just say, wow, you look good. And I'm like, I look the same. To me, I look the same, but they can see a glow. They say there's something about you. I can see a glow. And I just know it. In the sense of well-being that you feel after using X39 is something that I have had not on myself feel, but others that have expressed to me that they can see a sense, they just feel good. And it's just a healthier feeling. And I think that brings out that glow and happiness, and it really helps in all areas of your life.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Mary. And
If,
love
if
to
I if I can, April, you know, Mary, what I find really fascinating with you is that your skin is the largest organ on your body. And you know, if it's turning around that tissue, those cells to a younger state of being, you know what it's doing to the rest of your body. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I said, I know it's doing something on the inside if it's doing this much on the outside. So I'm excited to see what it's doing on the inside.
Absolutely. You know, keep tracking all those results, because, you know, we things keep happening after 6 months, after 12 months. We know that every month we use this, and you said you're 71, so 7 months for you would be a major, that's 6 months in, you know, 7 months in after if you're 71, that'd be using it 7 months. So hopefully you're just going to keep continued wonderful things happening to your body, to your skin, for your health, for your energy. Thank you so much for sharing today. We really appreciate you, and we'll follow back up in just a few months.
All right.
Thank you. And next today we have Sharon Arnold. Sharon, are you there?
I'm here. I'm
Hey,
here.
Sharon.
Welcome, everybody. I see Tom Block. He's one of my star students. And Jan was on here a little bit ago. Jan was the one that brought him on. We'll tell you more about him when I get done with my talk. But welcome, everybody. And I don't know where to start or where to finish. I was listening to Mary, and Mary said that she went to a chiropractor and was going to have the stem cell injections. In March the 6th of 2019 was the last day I took any type of pain medication, because on March the 13th, I did have stem cell injections in my lower back because I had ruptured and herniated L4 and L5 disc. Within 5 minutes of the injections, I jumped off the table and I haven't stopped jumping. However, my doctor that did that, I lost him to COVID on December the 19th, 2021. And so I said to God in my prayer, I know that you didn't tell me about stem cell therapy or introduce it to me for it to be just for a season. I know it's for a reason. 2 days later, Jan and I went to meditation. Father Justin Belitz was 87 years old. He's a monk. And Mary Beth, that signed me up, had sent him some stem cell X39s in December of 2021. It was January 2022 when I saw him, and I said, you've had stem cell injections or stem cell therapy. And he said, how do you know? I said, it shows on your face. So that was the beginning of my journey with the stem cell patches. As Mary alluded, the stem cell injections are very expensive. I paid $15,000 just for my back. And the patches are such a deal, but I had been on the patches 30 days. February the 7th is when I signed up. February 15th, 2022 is my first patch that I did. March the 22nd, I came home from being at the hospital praying for a friend, and it was raining, and I fell on my deck and I landed like this. I'm right-handed. I knew when I hit the deck that it was bad. I didn't know how bad, but Spirit said, don't worry, it's going to be okay. God's going to use this for his highest glory. So it took 41 minutes for the ambulance, another 30 minutes to get to the hospital. I get to the hospital, and the first thing they wanted to do was put morphine in the back of my hand for the pain, right? And while I was in the ambulance, I took the pain patch off my knee and I put it, little did I know, I was chipped right here and cracked over here. And I put the brown here and the white here and the 39 here. When they x-rayed me, I think 100 times that night in 9 hours, I believe it activated the peptides and the amino acids in these stem cells. And so the orthopedic surgeon didn't know what to do with me. He said it was such a bad break. He said 70-year-olds can't heal. I said 70 is just a number. I said, God, with God, all things are possible. So they put me in a splint from here to here. Then they put me like this in a sling. He said, come back in 9 days. I'm going to see what we can do for you. So the minute I left the hospital, I dropped the sling. But every day, Jan, my friend, came over and she would put the 39 underneath the splint right here, and we'd pray over it. 9 days later, I go back to the hospital for the x-rays, and the tactician came out. Every time he took an x-ray, he smiled bigger. And I said, it's healed, hasn't it? He said, I'm not a doctor, but I think you're going to be happy. The doctor comes in and he says, you're not 70. I said, okay. I said, why? He said, because 70-year-olds can't heal. He said, your wrist is completely healed. I said, praise God. Praise God. So he said, you're not going to need the splint. So he leaves the room. I take the splint off. He comes in, and I'm doing this with my hand when he comes back in. He said, who are you? And how did you do this? He said, you're not even on pain medicine. I said, I told you with God, all things are possible, right? I said, see this, these are patches. And I said, this is what I was using. And I said, I put the 39 here every day and it healed. So long story short, I used the 39 and 49. Mary, remember I told you? I use the 39, 49 because when you use those together, it triples the effect. It rebuilds bone and cartilage. And then I use the Aeon for the inflammation. Well, you can imagine how bruised this arm was when I landed on that deck. It was black, purple, green, every color that you could think of the rainbow. Once again, Jan, my friend, she put the 39 right in the center of my upper arm. Within 48 hours, you wouldn't know I even had a bruise. There was no discoloration. You know how they usually get green and no, it was back to my perfect. The doctor said, "How did you do that?" I said, "These patches are doing it." So Big Pharma doesn't want to hear about the patches, but he said, at the very end, he said, "You've broke all the records for medical and science," because, and I've got to get my last X-ray because the last X-ray shows everything. They didn't know what to do with the rotator cuff where it was chipped right here, because he said no matter surgically what he would have done, I would have been restricted on the use of that arm the rest of my life. So we've heard the story that God is the powder and we're the clay. When you see my last X-ray, you're going to see it looks like God took the clay. He very perfectly formed it around where the chip was. He filled in the split, and every bone that was broken is illuminated. You can see the phototherapy in the last X-ray. So I want to get that, and I've shared with so many of my team and all of you that are part of my team. We need to use this to show people, because it's one thing to tell you my wrist healed in 9 days and my arm healed in 2.5. And by the way, I have full use of the arm, and I've never took pain medicine for it. So it is a miracle. I thank God every day that he trusted me to use me to do this. But it's such a plus for the patches, because I'd only been on the patches 30 days when I fell. And so for them to work that quickly and that completely is truly a miracle. And I just praise God every day. And Tom Block's down here. Tom is one of our superstars. He's down in Lake Susie, Florida. Tom has got a story too. I told I told April earlier, I said, you'll need to bring him on sometime and hear his story. He's truly amazing. He makes my story look like nothing. But I patch every day, and I'm like Mary. I get younger and younger all the time, and it's just amazing. I was at a meeting yesterday. I walked in, and some guy I never saw him before in my life. He came up and he goes, "Do you have a license?" I said, "For what?" He said, "To be beautiful." And I said, "What?" He said, and he couldn't believe I was 70. Actually, I'm 71 now. And he said he couldn't believe it. But then he saw Jan, he couldn't believe that either. So we're gonna meet next week for lunch, and we're gonna get him signed up. He just could not believe that the stem cell patches could do this. So keep patching, everybody. And if you've got a bone issue, no matter what it is, I have 25 people that were supposed to have knee replacement. Not one of them have had it. And many of them were doubting Thomas's, doctors, veterinarians. And so when you can turn the doubting Thomas around, you know they're working. You're working. So God bless all of you. Keep patching. And I hope to be able to meet all of you sometime like I did last weekend in Sarasota. That was truly a monumental moment to see David Schmidt and hear him. What a phenomenal man. Wow. So I'm blessed to be here with you all today. Wish you all the very best, and keep patching.
Well, Sharon, that's just absolutely incredible that you never took a pain pill, had the broken bone, used 39 and 49 and Aeon for the pain, just healing in record time. And you're also 71 years young, just the same as Mary is. And you both have just incredible stories of what these patches can do for you, the stem cell activation. I mean, it's just like you just said, meeting David Smith this weekend, and y'all getting to hear, all the different things he has in store in the future and what he's already created for us with the activation, that we can turn back the hands of time, heal things in record time, just all with the patches, restore our bodies to vibrant health is absolutely just amazing, is it not?
Oh yeah. And what's amazing is no matter what your age is, you see that God is reversing it. And I know one of the first things I read or when I started studying about LifeWave and David Schmidt was he said that God wants us not to just survive, but to thrive. And it does make a difference how old we are. And I know when I had the injections, for 30 years, I walked on dead legs, and the pain was excruciating. When my pain was gone, I tell everybody, when you're not on drugs and you're not in pain, The sky's bluer, the grass is greener, and each morning when you get up, you got a new lease on life. And it's just totally different. So the patches give that to you every day. The stem cell injections wear off, once they heal what you had to do, or whatever you needed in your body healed, it's gone. They're with you every day. So I say, keep on patching. Tom, what's the wave we have? The patch wave? There it is. The patch. He waves his patch. Mhm.
Woo, I love
That's
that.
the
And
new wave.
well, like you said, also, Sharon, that your stem cell injection cost over $15,000 just for your back.
Yep.
And I love what David shared with us too. This is his answer to daily stem cell activation, that we can put this little patch on every single day. Put this X39 patch on our body somewhere 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and receive the benefits like you did, like the hundreds and hundreds of testimonials. We know that this is working.
Oh yeah.
Powerful to change lives every day. And I thank you for being joining us and sharing this with so many others and helping others as well. And I'm going to turn it back over to Wendy now. She's going to share with us more about the amazing technology and what all you can do to share this with you, and also where you can get the patches as well. Wendy?
Hi. Absolutely. Thank you so much, April. Sharon, Mary, wow. That's all I can say. I know everybody's going, wow, they cannot wait to go ahead and have this recording so they can share with so many people. Amazing, amazing story and testimonies that you both have experienced and thriving. Right now, you're both thriving, and just love that. Just love that. So with anybody else, you're probably wondering, patch, what's the patch? So this is it. This is the little wonder, guys. That's all it is. It's about the size of a quarter. And on the back is, we basically just peel off these two pieces of paper, just like you would a Band-Aid, And inside that center, you can see there's like a piece of gauze that's sandwiched between two pieces of plastic. And that's where all this wonderful magic happens. So inside this little piece of gauze and all of the patches, so we have many patches, but this is our holy grail to the stem cell world, which is called the X39. And inside this patch is just organic salt, sugars, amino acids, and water that create a specific crystal lattice to reflect back specific light waves. You heard me right. Just light waves. And nothing's coming out of it. It's reflecting back light waves. What does that mean? Well, we actually emanate a slew of light waves. One that we know of very well is called infrared. And infrared actually plays a very big role in this, because when you put this on your body, and the heat from your body hits that crystal lattice, it gets it vibrating, kind of gets it activating. And then the other light waves that are coming from your body, only specific ones, are now reflected back into the body to make GHK copper peptide. Now, GHK copper peptide is known to our body. In fact, we wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be talking to you without GHK copper peptide, and you wouldn't be listening to me either. In the very, very beginning, when those wonderful, miraculous event occurred when creating us within the womb, GHK copper peptide was part of that process. And GHK copper peptide came up, and therefore the body's next signal was, okay, now we need to make stem cells. And literally the body made bone, brain, blood, nerve, etc. And with that, the body, therefore, in essence, you could say 3D printed you. Those stem cells 3D printed you in the womb, creating you. And that GHK and the stem cells stayed rather high. They're proliferating throughout your body, right? So therefore, as we went through adolescence, our bones grew longer, our brains grew bigger, and we actually healed pretty quickly from any type of, injury that we may have. Because I know about you, I was accident prone, I would have to say. But nevertheless, unfortunately, sometime after puberty, that GHK copper peptide starts to decline. And GHK copper peptide to stem cells is like water to a plant. If we don't water the plant very well, what the plant's going to do? It's going to pull its energy from the leaves into the roots of its system to kind of preserve itself. And so that's kind of like what our body does. So as that GHK copper peptide starts to decline, our stem cells go into hibernation, to the point that by the time you're 35, you have less than 45% stem cells currently working in your favor. By the time you're 60, I think it's 0.9. By the time you're 80, you're not finding many run around at all. So that is one of the causes too, as we can see, is aging, our body's breaking down, having dis-ease in the body or discomfort in the body. is due to the fact that our bodies are unable to heal themselves. So in case you don't know, stem cells actually are the cell that goes out and heals our cells, heals our organs, heals our systems, heals our body. Because everything that makes you, everything, physical, mental, emotional, even spiritual, comes right down to your cell and how well it's able to function. So if a cell is damaged and not able to perform its function as it's designed to do so, with the innate intelligence, your body now waking up stem cells. So when I put this on, there is 2 specific spots for the X39. One is behind the neck or below the belly button. But this little beauty, you can put anywhere you need it. As Sharon, she put it on her shoulder, right? Or maybe she put it, actually, I think her back was already feeling better if I recall, but she would put it on her shoulder to help her shoulder heal really quick. For me, I have it right now on my wrist. You can't see it, but it's underneath there to help, heal my wrist. And so you can put it where you need it. And this is what's so beautifully designed about this specific patch. But within 10 seconds, it starts activating your body to make GHK copper peptide. And what it's doing, therefore, the body goes, oh, we have GHK copper peptide. We can bring those stem cells out of hibernation. All the stem cells that you were born with that created you are still with you. They do not die. They can replicate themselves, but they do not die ever, unlike every other cell in our body, always replicated and they get sloughed out of the system. But our stem cells are always still with us. So now the stem cells are coming out of hibernation and they're getting to work again. But you want to know some really cool thing is that your body actually is now being activated to make pluripotent or blank stem cells, brand new baby stem cells, guys. So when I first started, I was 55 years old. Yes, 55 years old. Now I'm 58 years young because my blood tests show that I'm like 20 to 30 years younger now with my blood tests. But nevertheless, my body made brand new baby stem cells, 0 age whatsoever. And they're blank. So the body with its nascent intelligence can say, we need some new kidney cells, or we need some nerve cells, or we need to, go out and heal that liver. So it'll label those cells to go out and get to work on that liver, on that nerve, or on those kidneys, wherever it needs to be, even though we may think everything's doing really good and everything's okay. So with that being said, another really cool thing, so I'm just meeting somebody here, is that, so what it does is it goes out to your, let's say your kidneys, right? And it can see a specific cell that is not, or many cells, I'm sure, that are not really working very well. They're pretty damaged due to oxidative stress, inflammation, bruising, too many toxins, et cetera, et cetera. So it basically gives that cell a pink slip and says, get the heck out of here. And it makes a brand new cell with 0 age, guys. It's not healing that cell. It's making a brand new cell to replace it. It's literally reversing the aging process. That's what's so dang special about this particular technology. So as before, I mentioned that it reflects specific light wave back. That actual technology is called photobiomodulation. We've all actually been using it our whole life. Every time we go out into the sun, right? The sun specific light wave kisses our skin and our body goes, oh, I need to make vitamin D. It's the same technology, folks. So you're probably wondering, well, how long have you been around? This company's been around a little over 20 years now. And it actually started way back when, because David Schmidt's been involved with this technology for over 25 to 35 years, I think. But nevertheless, back when it first started, the Armed Forces of the United States came to him and said, hey, David, we know that you're studying light therapy and that's really great. Can you create something to keep our Navy SEALs awake and alert without using acetaminophenes or caffeine pills? And so he went to work and he created what we now know to be the energy enhancer patch. And that was the beginning. That was the beginning of this all wonderful line of wonderful patches that do wonderful things. And now this X39 that does the activating your own stem cells to come out of hibernation. So that particular stem cell patch, what it did, or not stem cells patch, I apologize. The only thing that starts the next has to do with stem cells. Energy enhancer does not have anything to do with stem cells. What it does is it activates your body to pull fat from the body into the mitochondria, make more ATP, to give them energy and to keep them more awake. And that's how it all started. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to the person that invited you here today. If you want to know how much is this, even today you heard from Sharon how expensive, I think you said $15,000, I think you said, just to get back injections. That's insane. Well, I have good news for you guys. These patches, This patch is a price of a cup of coffee per day. That's it. That's it. David Schmidt wanted to make it so anybody and everybody could really benefit from this. He didn't want to monopolize the industry and basically make loads of money on you trying to feel better and healthier. He wanted everybody to feel healthier, because if everybody feels better, you can look on Sharon's face and Mary's face. When you're feeling better, man, you're smiling and you're just sharing the love. And then everybody feels the love and this world is improved. So reach out to the person who invited you. We have many different plans that come in as a preferred customer or retail, but we have 5 other wholesale plans. You come in and, come in where you fit, and we can find different patches that maybe are specific to you and your conditions. But with that being said, if you want to know more, how can I want to invite more people to these things. This is really cool. I'm going to let April tell you about how you can go ahead and invite people next week. April?
Thank you, Wendy. That was an excellent explanation of how this incredible technology works. We'd love for you to join us tomorrow, Saturday, February the 4th at 10 o'clock Pacific time or 1 o'clock Eastern. We're going to have a special training with Christian Hansen on personal influence. We're going to have a masterclass. So we'd love to have you join us for that. Also, we're here Monday through Friday every week. So you can join us Monday through Thursday night at 9 o'clock Eastern or 6 o'clock Pacific. Or Fridays, the one we're on right now, 4 o'clock Eastern and 1 o'clock Pacific, to hear more incredible testimonials, people sharing from all over the world what this patch technology is doing for all of us. Thank you all for joining us here today. We appreciate your time. Have a great Friday.
Yes. Thank you so much, April, for joining me today. I just so love seeing you. And anybody else, one thing I did leave out, if you want to learn more information, you can go to startx39now.com. David put that in the chat. If you want to look at that really quick, that's again, startx39now.com. And I also want to put a shout out to David. Thank you very much, David, for always being our support system. Really, truly appreciate you being here. And have yourself a great Friday.
Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing. Loved your stories.